Hello and welcome to the 6th round of the UCI Women's World Cup. We've moved to Bochum in Germany in the Ruhr Valley for the Sparkassen Giro, a new race on this calendar. Well, the mechanics are getting the bikes ready, the sun is out, and it's a big day for this rider, Emma Johansson, as she tries to close the gap on Lizzie Armistead, the series leader, who is not taking to the start line today, riding the Commonwealth Games instead. Well, Rochelle, all the riders are here. They've had a packed programme since we saw them last, but a big day for many of these riders.
Well, a lot of new national champions. Here's the Belgian one, Jolien Dora, Mayuko Hagiwara, champion of Japan, and Giorgia Bronzini, the birthday girl today. Marianne Vos, obviously the clear favourite after her win last week in La Course.
Marianne, we're 1 week after La Course. Is the form still good?
Well, it can't be gone in 1 week, so but yeah, I feel good.
You did a lot of criteriums, which are also on these inner city circuits. Is that an advantage today?
Well, I think the speed and the acceleration you need for the criteriums, you also need for a course like La Course and also for this World Cup Sparkassen Giro. So yeah, I hope to use it as an advantage.
Good opportunity for Shelley Olds of Ale Cipollini today, but nursing a broken finger. Of course, a podium finisher in Drenthe.
I think it's a course of attrition, but maybe it's possible that the sprinters can be there in the end. So I don't know. It depends on how it's raced, and we have a very good field here. So we should see. I hope it's as fast and as hard as it was last week in Paris.
I think today is a good opportunity for me because maybe this race fits more for me than the other two that we have to do. So I'll try to get this opportunity, and I hope all goes well.
New Italian champion Elena Cecchini, 8th overall in the classification. Lizzie Armistead there at the top of the series standings with 160 points advantage on Emma Johansson.
It was a lovely win at the Champs-Élysées last weekend. Marianne Vos performing under pressure.
Here's a high-tech products team as they get ready for racing. A real festival atmosphere. Here's Lisa Brennauer, the German champion. And of course, many fans today will be cheering her on to see whether she can cross the line first. Martina Zwick, the 24-year-old German rider from the Bigler team, getting ready for racing.
Well, entertainment on the start line. Marianne Vos looks quite relaxed, having a conversation there.
Well, I wonder how motivated she'll feel after that chat. The peloton now on the start line, ahead of them 8 loops of 15.5 kilometres. And Marianne Vos leads the peloton out. So 129 riders in the field today. And at the back, a few riders having some conversations. Oh, Anna Schnitzmeyer jumped her gears, wishing happy birthday to Giorgia Bronzini. This is what we've got on the menu today. 15.5 kilometres. We start in Bochum, right in the centre. We make our way out to the more hilly section of the course. And then we head back in to loop round and finishing back in Bochum. Well, let's take a look now at what the climb is like. As you can see, nice wide road, tree-lined both sides, but it is that sort of climb when you can really power your way all the way to the top. Doesn't have very many steep sections, so a constant gradient. So we join the riders now as they make their way towards the climb, and it's all grouped together.
The sprinters will be looking forward to today. It's a bit of an open course, so it lends itself to a sprint, and this race has taken place in the past. Oh, we've got a crash already. Celine Van Severen. So that'll be disappointing for Jolien Dora if she doesn't get back, one of the lead-out riders from Lotto Belisol.
Onto the climb then, and the tempo being upped here by Megan Guarnier, the rider from the Boels Dolmans team. And in their team today, they have Christine Meus, who is last year's winner of a Sparkassen Giro. It wasn't on the World Cup calendar last season, but she'll be looking to race across the line first. Lots of cards to play for the Boels Dolmans team today.
Well, if she's come into this race with form, fit and healthy, then there's no reason why the Boels Dolmans team shouldn't support her. She's proven once that she can do it. This is Marianne Vos now attacking, animating the race quite early. Clearly wants to have a hard race here and put the other riders under a bit of pressure.
Well, she certainly is. Here is Marianne Vos on the front. She started the World Cup season late because she won the world title at cyclocross. Then she had a little break, but now she's looking very strong. She's a real bike racer, isn't she? She loves to race, and she's now putting the pressure on the rest of the field. One long line and the gaps are starting to open.
Marianne Vos would have decided that she wants to have a hard race today, because if she came in with a clear goal that she wanted to win, she'd have to be confident with that type of finish. There's a very technical right-hand corner, and the first couple of riders through that have the potential to win today.
Valentina Scandalara of Italy, riding for the Orica AIS team there in the blue and green. She's now sensed the danger, so she's racing across to this breakaway as Claudia Hausler now extends the advantage for them, goes through and tries to up the tempo. Marianne Vos, second wheel.
Well, Lisa Brennauer there as well, been very strong recently. Last weekend in La Course, finishing 4th on the Champs-Élysées. So in very, very fine form. This is quite a dangerous break, but we can see that riders are responding to it. It looks like Shelley Olds of the Ale Cipollini team in the bright yellow that was coming across to that.
Well, you're right, Rochelle. That breakaway now has been nullified as the peloton head towards the completion of this lap. And an important moment, because on the line this time there are points on offer for the World Cup Sprints jersey. With 77 kilometres to go, Marianne Vos leading out her teammate Iris Schlappendel, who is second overall in this competition. And they are going to go through this corner, and Vos in a perfect position to try and put Schlappendel in the leader's jersey.
I think it's a fantastic display of teamwork from Marianne Vos. She was on the front for a long time there, but that can benefit her because she took that last corner first, and that'll be a rehearsal for the finish. But Iris Schlappendel sprinting for the points. It looks like she's going to finish second here.
Well, it's Anna Stricker there from the Astana B-Pink team, the rider who won the points jersey in the Tour of El Salvador, who takes the maximum points there. But Iris Schlappendel, with that points taken, means that she will move into the leader's jersey at the moment. 16 points to her. The peloton being led by the Astana B-Pink team. In second place there is Alana Emalusik, who is the rider who wears the Belarusian champions jersey. So we're heading now towards the climb, and there'll be points on offer this time, and Amalusik looking good there in second place.
Well, she's had the Mountains jersey for the World Cup Series before, and she'll want to get these points. It's the only points on offer today on the top of this hill. They go past a few times, but you can see they're giving a dedicated effort to try and get those points for Amalusik to get that jersey back today.
So she extends now the advantage on the front of the peloton as she ups the tempo. She was the rider who was third in the Chitilio World Cup. That was the second round of this series after we had gone from Drenthe to the banks of the beautiful lake there. The peloton now making their way up the climb, and it's still Amalusik who is leading, but there's many riders who want to try and take these points, but she grits her teeth now and heads towards the line. It looks like Amalusik is going to take the maximum points here, and she does. She crosses the line. Amalusik takes the 6 points ahead of Lisa Brennauer from Specialized Lululemon, and in third place there Emilia Fahlin, the Swedish rider from Wiggle Honda. That puts Amalusik with 12 points into the leader's jersey.
We'll see Specialized Lululemon have moved to the front here today. They've got Lauren Rowney doing a lot of work at the front.
Well, the tempo looking pretty rapid as we make our way downhill. A problem here for Kelly Marcus, who rides from the team Ritger. Looks like she's got a mechanical problem as they try to fix it. Right, the peloton all still together, and many riders still in this field who started with 129 when we left the start line in Bochum. So many riders will be still thinking they're in with a shout of taking this victory. 62.5 kilometres to go as we proceed now to the second sprint of the day, and on the front again the rider in the Dutch champions colours in the red, white and blue, Iris Schlappendel, looking to extend her advantage.
Well, she had that sprinter's jersey for the World Cup Series earlier in the year, and she really wants that back, and she's got a dedicated effort here from Rabobank. You can see last lap we had Marianne Vos do the job. Looks like she's going to pick up the points this time. It's close.
Very close on the line here, but she's being challenged here by Simona Frapporti from the Astana B Pink team. She takes 6 points. A rider who has won a stage in the Route de France, but Iris Schlappendel takes the all-important 4 points in second place. That extends her advantage now on 20 points. Stricker in second place and Wysack of Australia in third. One rider who's been involved in the action is a new double German champion of the road and time trial. Let's hear from Lisa Brennauer.
When I was 13, my brother started with cycling, and I was so enthusiastic about it, and I wanted to see his races. So then I asked my parents if I could do the same, and at first they were not really happy with it, but I could get them into supporting my idea, and that's how I came into cycling. Women's cycling is a great sport, and it's as interesting as the men's races, especially with the great events we had this year we never had before, like the Tour of Great Britain, which was really a great success and also a big crowd watching. And then last week we had La Course in France, which was an amazing race to be part of. On a training ride, we chat about everything. Sometimes really, really funny stuff, sometimes what bothers you or what happened at home last weekend. Today I talked about my studies a bit. I'm studying psychology. I started this year. It's a long distance studies, and it's really interesting. My free time, I like to meet friends and to spend time with them. And if I have time to, I like to paint, and I paint all different kind of stuff, but it sometimes takes me years to finish. I do think that the whole girly aspect of women's cycling, it's part of it, right? Myself, I'm not the one that would paint her nails every day, like you can see on all the pictures, but it's part of it, and it's also a beautiful part of it, so why not? I definitely do like our kit, but I have to say that I like the one I'm wearing now better. So this weekend, doing the World Cup here in Germany is very special to me, and as well I'm going to race in my German champion kit again, and this makes me getting goosebumps every day. I expect a quite interesting race. It's a course with some climbs and a tricky finish, so I expect it to become an active race. The current World Cup leader will not be there, I guess, so we'll see what her team can do without her.
Oh, we've just heard that Lizzie Armitstead's won the Commonwealth Games without a Bowles-Dolman's team, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do. If they get that news out on the road, their morale will be extremely high.
Certainly will be. Well, 30 kilometres to go now in this race as we see the peloton lined out. The fans enjoying the action, but look at this, Rochelle. An important breakaway has just prized itself off the front.
Well, look at this, Marianne Vos. She's done a lot of work today. It's been a very, very impressive ride. She's got the ability to win in a sprint, but she just animates the race. She's always pushing on the pedals and pushing the pace. And you see there, she's just got into the time trial mode, and this gap is quite significant.
It certainly is. Well, the amount of work that's being done by Marianne Vos has now got to be countered by the work being done by the Bowles-Dolman's team. They might be missing their leader, but they're certainly chasing everything down. Interesting tactics here, Rochelle, because why are they chasing?
Well, they could definitely shift the responsibility to the Orica AIS team. We can see Valentina Scandalaris in the break, but the Orica AIS team, they're the ones that have everything to gain today, because Johansson is in second place on the World Cup Series, and this is their opportunity without Lizzie Armitstead, the leader, being in the race. So if the riders in the peloton wanted to put the pressure onto the other teams, they could, but Bowles-Dolman have seemed to get on the front, taking it on themselves.
A problem here for one of the German national team, going back to the team car to have a conversation. Well, Boels Dolmans have shut this one down very, very quickly. They must be thinking of Christine Myers today, must be thinking they can carry her through to win back-to-back victories in this Sparkassen Giro. The peloton all together again. For Rochelle at the front, it's Marianne Vos who is refusing to give in and still up in the tempo.
Well, this has been an amazing ride by Marianne Vos. So inspiring to watch. She's always making the race. She hasn't stopped pushing on the pedals. She's always been on the front or in every single move. You see the other sprinters there around the front? Shelley Olds from LA Cipollini. This is Mayuko Hagiwara having a go.
The rider then from Wiggle Honda, the new Japanese champion. There she is in the white and red. She's a very strong climber. Another problem here at the back as the rider we saw earlier on back at the team car having a wheel change, so a few mechanical issues for some of the riders. Here we can see the way this climb ramps up, 24 kilometers remaining. A few riders really having to sprint to just stay in the field. Meanwhile, it's Hagiwara now who is extending the advantage, 15 seconds for this rider.
Well, hasn't Mayuko impressed the world this year? She came to Europe for the first time last year with a professional team and was the first Japanese female rider to ever podium at the Giro just a few weeks ago. She was third on a hilltop stage, so a very impressive ride and a rapid development from this rider.
Well, she's also, her English is improving all the time too, and she's a real member of this Wiggle Honda team who keeps everybody going. She's now starting to sprint her way down this descent, and there is daylight now between Hagiwara and the rest of this field. Can she hold them off? Which team is going to be the team who chase back? Bit of a problem here. Two riders have hit the deck, and it's Caroline Canuel from the Specialized Lululemon team over there on the right-hand side, and Specialized Lululemon missing a couple of their stars in today's World Cup.
Well, Evie Stevens sitting out for a little bit of a break, as is Trixie Warwick, so they're a little bit down on firepower today. But Mayuko Hagiwara, she's got quite a gap there.
Looks like it's Boels Dolmans again who are on the front of this peloton. They're refusing to give in today. They want to chase down everything. And Mayuko now out of the saddle, starting to suffer a little bit in the lead.
Well, no doubt this move was to create some pressure in the peloton for her sprinter, Giorgia Bronzini. So maybe it wasn't her intention to stay away, but she's given it everything. We can see that she's suffering now, and the peloton's just sat up a little bit. So I think they've got this measure on Hagiwara.
Well, it's a good move here for Wiggle Honda as Hagiwara looks around, and as you mentioned, Rochelle, Giorgia Bronzini, it's her birthday today, so she wants to take the victory. The team making sure she's celebrated her birthday. She's moving her way towards the front of the peloton, and as we head now around, you can see the cavalry all across the road, and Hagiwara, the lone leader.
Well, you can see now as she comes through with 1 lap to go, that'll probably lift her morale that she's just got 1 lap to go. These crowds here will lift her. They're fantastic crowds at Sparkassen every year, and there's a lot of atmosphere and festivities going on around the place, so no doubt this crowd will really lift Mayuko, and she'll see how far she can get.
Well, she's making her way now towards the completion of this lap. The sole leader of Sparkassen Giro with 1 lap remaining is the Japanese champion. Mayuko Hagiwara takes the bell, but her advantage is a slender one, and the peloton being led here by the team of Bigler. And it looks like it could be Vera Kududa who's on the front, and towards the front also is Emma Johansson, the new Swedish champion.
Well, it will be very difficult, I think, now for another counterattack to go and stay away, being this close to the finish. And don't forget, there's a lot of good sprinters in the peloton. With Kirsten Wield, we haven't seen anything of her today, so we'll probably see her team come to the front and try and close everything down in the final lap.
Not long to go then, as we see Hagiwara almost being caught by a group of riders here, and this peloton coming back together. But Rochelle, you know the finish. You were the winner of this race in 2009, and someone like Emma Johansson cannot leave this race to the sprinters.
Well, she's got everything to gain here today. Like we said, she's got to try and close that gap to Lizzie Armitstead, and Lizzie Armitstead not being present makes this race so important in the World Cup Series to try and get the maximum amount of points she can. She'll have to do an attack. She can't let it come down to a bunch sprint.
So we'll see what does happen. So far we've seen Boels Dolmans close everything down. Maybe that plays into the hands of Lizzie Armistead, because they know that Emma Johansson is likely to finish down the field if there is a sprint. But lined across the road now, right at the back here, a couple of riders suffering. It's Beatrice Bartoloni there at the back for Wiggle Honda, who's being tailed off. Meanwhile, at the front, the teams of the sprinters are starting to line things up, but Valentina Scandalara is lining the peloton up for an attack for Emma Johansson.
Well, that was textbook. We saw Orica AIS apply the pressure all the way up the hill, and we're just going over the top now. Emma Johansson making her move, so it's do or die now all the way to the finish. She's just going to give 100% to try and stay away from the peloton.
Wearing number 1 then, Emma Johansson, as she'll go through these tight corners. She's a very, very good descender. Technically an exceptional bike rider. The Swedish road race champion of 2014. Another tight corner as she tries to extend her advantage. Of course, we've seen her take the win in Chitilio this year in a World Cup, and she's just won the Beanie Ladies Tour, as well as being a silver medalist in Beijing in 2008. Johansson now opens up her advantage, 8 seconds, Rochelle.
Well, I find it really amazing that nobody could go with that move, because she's a rider that you don't let go that close to the finish. And the likes of the Giant Shimano team for Kirsten Wild and the Wiggle Honda team for Giorgia Bronzini, and even Mariana Vos, normally she'd be straight on to this one.
Well, Emma Johansson now not looking around at all. She's a rider who lives in Belgium. She's got a big fan club, and she's trying now to close the gap on this series to Lizzie Armistead. And, well, it's not going to happen, because the team of Giant Shimano on the front there in the black and white close the gap.
That's going to be very difficult now for Johansson to pick up maximum points in the sprint finish, or to even figure in the sprint. She gave everything she possibly could, so she sacrificed the chance of getting the maximum points she could in the sprint to have a real go at trying to win this bike race today.
Well, what she's done though is made the field split in 2, and suddenly the sprint trains are starting to form. The team there in the black and white looking after the interests of Kirsten Wild, the winner of the Chongming round of the World Cup, and the pace now hot, but maybe 30-40 riders at the front.
Well, inside the last kilometre, this is where it all happens. The Giant Shimano team have an extremely strong lead out, and Kirsten Wild would have to be one of the favourites, but it's the team of Mariana Vos doing the lead out, taking over now, taking control of the race. And you see Mariana Vos to the left of your screen, good position.
Well, this group have been tailed off, 1 kilometre to go. Meanwhile, at the front, it's the Rabo team as they head now towards a conclusion of this race. Mariana Vos in a perfect position, sitting 3 or 4 wheels back. Kirsten Wild on her wheel, surfs her way into the right position. Over on the right-hand side is Ellen van Dijk in the orange and black of the Boels Dolmans team. Valentina Scandalara leading out Emma Johansson. They've got to get through this right-hander now.
Well, Mariana Vos and Ellen van Dijk go through first. It's a very difficult sprint to come over the top. Mariana Vos is leading out long from the corner.
Mariana Vos now is going to try and take this victory. Look at this. She's flat out. Bronzini going late. Mariana Vos looks round. The world champion takes the win here in Bochum in the Sparkassen Giro. In second place, it looked like Giorgia Bronzini of Wiggle Honda. But what a win from Mariana Vos.
She raced so hard today to be able to finish that off like that. She probably didn't expect that, because she left it all out on the road. She raced hard. She was in every single move.
This is the next group coming in. They're going to finish just a few seconds down. But Mariana Vos continues her rich vein of form, congratulated by the rest of her team. They got that lead out absolutely perfect today, and she's going to take a big sigh of relief. Look at this. Vos was extending her advantage until Bronzini then challenged. One rider there on the left-hand side, the new Finnish champion, Lotta Lepistu from Bigla. She's on the podium for the first time.
Yeah, it was a good race. It was hard. It's a city circuit. But still, it's fast, and you have to stay in the front to stay alert. It was hard to get away. We tried several times to attack, but at the end it was a bench sprint, and the team did well to make it a hard race, and also well to put me in the right position.
Marianne Vos takes her first win in the UCI Women's World Cup this season. Bronzini in second, Lepistu in third. Importantly, Emma Johansson finished down in 8th place. Here's the podium then. Marianne Vos greeted by the crowd as she walks on and is flanked there by Bronzini and Lepistu. A big day for the Finnish champion. That's the first time we've seen her figure in any of these rounds. Let's take a look then at what happens with the standings after Marianne Vos winning today. She moves up into the top 10 after missing the first 3 rounds. Lizzie Armistead remains the series leader. Emma Johansson closes by 35 points.
Elena Cecchini moves into the lead of the Young Riders classification.
It's a great satisfaction for me. It was one of my goals for this season, so now I want to keep it. I know that it will be hard, but I'll try it.
Here's the leaders then of the different jersey classifications. We're going to head now to Vårgårda in Sweden for the next round of the Women's World Cup. Join us then. From Rochelle Gilmore and myself, Anthony McCrossan, bye for now.